Hey everybody, how's it going? B Temple back here again, and got a little bit of a different kind of ration to review for everyone today. Trying to move away from a 24-hour ration sort of thing that takes a long time in several parts. Thought I'd try sort of an individual ration, and this one's sort of special for a number of reasons. This is a vintage ration. It's believed to be from around 1983. I guess we'll find out once we dig into it and check some of the date codes for some of the items. If it is 1983, which is what it's supposed to be, this will end up being the oldest thing I've ever eaten, and it'll be actually older than myself, so that's going to be a little interesting, and maybe a little dangerous as well, but as long as we use the old smell test and sight test and taste test, it shouldn't be that bad. So what we have here is a food packet, long-range patrol, menu number 1, beef hash, from the Dixie Packaging Company in Greenville, South Carolina. And there's a good way to sort of tell that this should be a 1983 ration because the Dixie Packaging Company only packed these long-range patrols for a very short amount of time, around the 1983-84 sort of time frame. So it should be in there somewhere. A little bit of a background on long-range patrol rations. They were developed in the 1960s during the Vietnam War to basically supplement or replace standard American MCI, Meal Combat Individual rations, which would have been a boxed ration with cans, and it would have been fairly heavy for special units and also units that would be going on long-range patrols, as the name implies, that would be traveling long distances for a long amount of time. It made a lot more sense to have a lightweight ration that required you to carry less weight than the standard MCI rations that were canned. So as we'll see inside this packet, we're going to find a freeze-dried entree instead of a wet entree. You may be carrying less weight in the entree itself, but then it's a bit of a trade-off so that when you have to actually prepare this meal, it requires an awful lot of water. So I guess you'll have to carry the water as well, but I guess it's deemed to be okay if you'll find a water source a lot easier, I guess. Or you can at least sterilize water, using your water purification tablets or boiling it or something like that. So this is supposed to be a very good sort of ration. I've had the modern LRPs, and they're just fine. So it's going to be interesting to sort of crack into an older one that's even older than myself, and see what the items are like. So we know that we're going to get a beef hash entree, but let's see what else is inside this ration waiting for us. So let's dig into this thing and see what else we have. There's not a whole lot to it. More modern LRPs would have a lot more items, a lot more components. It's, a lot more stuff, basically. These ones apparently are going to be very sort of minimalistic, I guess is the way to put it. So as you can see, it's just a standard sort of green pack, a lot smaller than what you would find in a modern MRE. It's the same type of plastic, but it's just a lot less stuff. So first of all, we've got ourselves an Mci Spoon. I've never seen one of these before. I've never had an MCI itself. So this is the older style spoon American rations would have had. Eventually, when the 80s roll along, they will replace them with a spoon that looks like this, your standard MRE spoon. So for comparison, there's a lot of a difference between the MCI spoon and the MRE spoon when it comes to size. So we'll just take that out of its packaging. As you can see, it's just a little sort of small plastic spoon. It's a bit more flimsy than an MRE spoon, and it also has this sort of sharper edge on the back. And what else do we have? We have toilet paper, and it's interesting. You can certainly tell this is the 1980s because we have blue toilet paper as opposed to white toilet paper. This brings back memories of childhood. You go to certain people's homes and they'd still be using blue toilet paper back then, so it's a little interesting. That's a good way to date the ration like that because it's blue. All we have left then, literally, is an accessory packet and the entree. So first of all, let's just get the entree out of its wrapping. It's in this cardboard type sort of stuff. And the reason behind that would be, if you didn't have this cardboard and you had the ration inside the bag, small pinholes could possibly break its way through the packaging of the entree. And pinholes, of course, then would compromise the vacuum seal of the freeze-dried entree, and oxygen would get in, and then the food inside would be ruined. So let's just take it out of its packet. So we have our entree, beef hash. Add a half canteen cup, hot or cold water. So I think that's about 12 ounces. We've got ourselves 5 ounces of the entree. The ingredients are kind of minimal. Beef, potatoes, seasoning mix, which is beef flavored soup and gravy base, onion powder, white pepper, and MSG and garlic powder. So, you know, it's another one good way to see that this is an older style ration, that they still use MSG as one of the ingredients. As you can see, the vacuum seal on this is pretty well perfect. This has been inside this packaging for, you know, what seems like could be 34 years now at this point. So, you know, freeze-dried rations can last for a long time. So we're going to hope that this stands up to that. And what we have left is the accessory packet, which is supposed to have, it's a little hard to pick out due to the glare, but we've got Cornflake Bar, orange, cocoa beverage, matches, coffee, cream, sugar, and interdental stimulator, which is sort of like a toothpick, toothbrush kind of mix. Got ourselves a little tear notch right here. Let's rip it open. And let's do what some people sort of like to do, take that first smell. That's an interesting smell. I can't quite put my finger on it, actually. It's not quite mint, and it wouldn't be mint because there's no gum in it. But yeah, it's a little weird, actually. I don't know what to say. But what do we have? We've got an old style cocoa beverage powder. There's a little bit of a film, oily film on the packaging here. That could be from the Cornflake Bar. Maybe the oils that are in that have seeped out a little bit, but I guess we'll see. Trying to find a date code on this, and can't really find one. Oh wait, here we go. Yes. Pick up that if you can. 32711 2A. We're going to assume then that means 1983, the 271st day. So yeah, this is made in 1983, and the cocoa beverage powder feels perfect. It's not clumped up or anything, so that's a good sign at least. We've got our snack dessert kind of, I suppose, item that goes along with it. We've got ourselves a fruit-flavored cornflake bar. Class orange flavor. So it's 1.5 ounces. This is very tightly packed and sort of a plastic. And this also has a very interesting smell. I've had the compressed cornflake cookie granola type bars from RCWs. But that was from 1996, so this is, you know, a lot older than that. So I guess we'll see if this one actually holds up. Because I had 2 packs of those in the RCW. One pack was fantastic. The other pack had gone horribly bad, and it made my mouth feel like it was full of cotton balls. So I guess we'll find out what this one's going to be like. What do we got left? We've got ourselves a cream substitute, dry, non-dairy. And it's in this kind of packaging that almost has like a gold kind of sheen to it. So it's a little interesting. And we also have Coffee Instant Type 1 and a Coffee Instant Type 1s. We've got 2 Coffee Instant Type 1s. Not really much of a help to myself. I don't drink coffee. So I'm sure there's somebody out there who's going to enjoy a couple coffee instant type 1s on me for a package I send at some point. Got ourselves a packet of sugar, 6 grams, Amstar. This also has that little tiny bit of a oily film kind of feeling to it. This paper itself has more of like a waxy kind of feeling. And also, we have a packet of red tip matches. And interestingly enough, it would appear that quality control must have messed up a little bit, because this is supposed to have an interdental stimulator in it, and I would assume it's only supposed to have 1 packet of coffee. So instead of us getting 1 pack of coffee and an interdental stimulator, they gave us 2 packs of coffee. So for some people, that would be an amazing thing. So what we're going to do, I suppose the best thing to probably do is open up our Entree and get that started, because we're going to pour in some boiling water and try to get that reconstituted as well as we can. It says here to leave it soaking for 5 minutes. So first of all, let's open it up and see if we can get a hiss. No hiss yet. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. No hiss at all. So let's just go in for a sniff and see what this seems like. So this is what the Entree ends up looking like. It's got a sort of a cardboard bottom, I guess, to give the package a little bit of something, a little bit of substance, I guess, when it sits. But yeah, this whole pack feels really oily, and it's got like a weird kind of, I don't know what the way to describe it, just old. It's just got an old kind of smell to it. So, I don't know how that's going to go. But let's at least open it up, scrunch it up a little bit, and then try to reconstitute it. So we got a little look of our interior here. You can see the chunks of beef and then the chunks of the freeze-dried potatoes. They almost look like sort of, you know, old French fries that have been cut up into pieces. But let's just take a little sniff of the inside of this to see how it seems. Yeah, the inside of this doesn't smell as bad as the exterior, so yeah, we're just gonna give it something of a try. I'm gonna get some boiling water, I think, out of the Keurig. That's probably the quickest thing for me to do this. So I'll come back in a second with the hot water included. So there you go, guys. We've got ourselves our water added to our beef hash, and let's just give it a little stir around. Get into the corners. I'll say this, now that the water's been added to it, this really doesn't smell very good. So I don't know if I have overly high hopes about the ability of this to actually be drinkable. I mean, eatable. So yeah, we're just gonna tie it over a little bit. And let that sit for a while, and then go back and try it out. Alright, next we are going to, I guess, get our cocoa beverage powder mixed up. Get our glass here. I'm usually someone who tries my cocoa beverage powder cold, but where this is a bit older, I think it's probably better if I do this with warm or hot water. Maybe it'll mix a little bit better, but anyway, we'll see. Get a look inside. Looks good to me. It's just a perfect powder. It's no clumps or anything like that, so this should be all right. And this says to add 6 ounces of water, so once again I'll go to the Keurig and get some of that. So we've got ourselves our hot water. And let's just give this a little bit of a stir. It's a few clumps, but nothing too bad. Let's just give it a smell first, just to see how this 34-year-old cocoa beverage powder smells. It smells just like regular hot cocoa to me, so that's a good sign at least. Not going to really need any of these side items that are here. Not going to need the coffee or the creamer, anything like that. Really all that's left now is to open up our Cornflake Bar and then try out our main entree in this. So first of all, let's just open this up. Might be a little difficult getting the plastic off. Here we go. I know RC Gusto has done a review of this particular ration as well, and I believe from his review, his Cornflake Bar wasn't in the greatest shape, so I guess we'll see how mine matches up to his. So let's get a little nice look at this. Try to break it apart. Okay, it snapped apart easier than I thought it would, so that's possibly a good sign. Let's give this a smell first, just to see if it's off at all. Yeah, that it's supposed to be orange, but I don't know what that smell is. That's the smell I was getting out of the whole accessory packet, and it's something, but I don't know what it is. Let's just get rid of our little plastic pieces. Alright, it's probably been 5 minutes now on the entree. Still a little bit of steam coming off of it. I mean, it looks pretty good, but the smell isn't the greatest thing on earth, so going into this with a little bit of trepidation. Yeah, so we've got ourselves our beef hash from 1983. This will end up being the oldest thing I've ever eaten before, so let's give this first spoonful a try. Yeah, that's not good. I didn't hear a hiss when I opened the pack, which is usually a bad sign when it's supposed to be a vacuum sealed freeze-dried entree. It never smelled right to start with. It was very, very oily, so I don't know if just a little bit of air managed to get into it at some point, or the packaging was a little bit compromised. I don't know, but yeah, that was not good at all. Let's give this cocoa beverage powder a try, just to see if maybe there's at least some sort of redeeming quality to this. Yeah, that's not good either. It's a little bleachy. That's the best way to put it. I mean, it is cocoa beverage powder. There's probably sort of, you know, dry milk powder or something in that, and it's 30-odd years old. So yeah, not good. Let's try the orange flavored Cornflake Bar last, and then that's pretty much it. It's a little disappointing that none of this is particularly good, although I suppose one shouldn't be surprised that something that's 30-odd years old might not be edible. But let's try out this, what's supposed to be orange-flavored Cornflake Bar. And there you go, that's really bad too. So, yeah, you can get some sort of orange flavor off it, but it's a really faint one, and not a good one at all. There must be some sort of oil that's in the Cornflake Bar it's gone rancid at some point. I'm not really getting much of a cottonmouth kind of feeling. No sort of numbness or anything like that, but just the overall taste of that just does not come across well at all. Just really, really bad, actually. There's just something about it that's not good, and I don't feel good enough about, you know, just eating it for the sake of eating it. I like to think of myself as a pretty brave kind of person when it comes to this stuff, but, you know, when your brain's telling you that this might not actually be good for you, I don't really want to get sick. So yeah, that's that, basically. I'm not going to do any of the other items here because it's not necessary. I don't drink coffee, so I'm not going to need the coffee or the creamer or the sugar. You know, it's an old pack of matches and a nice sort of cool kind of nostalgic vintage blue toilet paper. That'll be good for the collection. But otherwise, yeah, this has been our 1983 Long Range Patrol Ration Menu Number 1, beef hash. And overall, hasn't been the greatest thing I've ever had, I must say. At least I can now say that I've eaten something that's older than I am. But it was a little bit disappointing that none of it was basically any good. You know, even the cocoa powder wasn't particularly good. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed chronicling, you know, this sort of historical piece of military history. But at the same time, it is, of course, you know, disappointing when something like this ends up not actually being edible in any way. So, yeah. We're going to end off now and look forward to coming out with a new review of something else. Maybe something old, maybe something older than this, or maybe something a bit more modern. We'll see when the time comes. So, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.